just if you hear. What's up? We're looking at the standard deviation channel. So what we're looking at here is in the Discord, you go down to where it says TR Academy indicators TOS or TV TOS. So you scroll up a little bit, right? And you'll see this. It's only a short amount up from the bottom. All right. You don't have to go that far. You'll see standard deviation channel. Ignore this link for now. Because when we found that when you try to use this, it doesn't do anything. So read through this. We're going to go through this stuff in real time. This is what it looks like. You can see I have this saved as a set, which is what you'll want to do. See this area right here says save as set. Once you've actually set this up, we will go through that. What it looks like when it's finished is this. So you have the center line, right, is your mean. So that's the mean reversion of price based on the time frame, the amount of candles, right, over a certain amount of time, which on ThinkOrSwim is standard, right? There's standard set time. So like you're looking back over a year period for one day. You can also customize it, but at the same time, when you're using this, you want to use the standard. It's most effective when you're using the standard time frames, in my opinion. So like the weekly is a 20-year look back. The 1 day is a 1 year look back. The 4 hour is a 180-day look back, etc. And it's the pre-programmed time frame. So that's what it's going to look like. You have your mean, right? That's the mean of price. Basically, it's a straight line. This here is 100 EMA, so ignore that. You can add that obviously in. And then these dotted white lines, this is plus half a D, plus 0.5, minus 0.5. And then the yellow is plus 1, minus 1. And then the orange is plus 2. And this green here is minus 2, right? And each of these dotteds are half deviations in between it. This goes all the way out to 4. So you have 1, 2, 3, and then there's actually another line that's the 4th deviation out. So let's get into it. This is what the settings are going to look like. We're going to see that when we get into it. So how's that sounding, Les? This is Alex and Les, by the way. We had a little issue when I first tried to record it, so we're just kind of pushing through.
You are loud and clear, Alex.
Yeah, good, man. That was frustrating the first time, but that's all right. Okay, so what do you do, right? This is what your screen looks like. And I will slow down here, Les. I know that you and I started this, so I'm just going to kind of explain what we're looking at. So what you're going to do is you're going to come into the screen. Obviously, you wouldn't have, these lines on here at that point. You're going to come up here to your bar where it says share, and you have your little study, right, which is your science goblet, right, whatever that is. Right in between that, you're going to see this like file icon with an eye, right? You're going to click that. It's going to pop open this menu. It says the standard deviation channel over 21 periods has an upper value, blah, 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 right? That's great to know, but what you want to do is add study to chart. So you're going to click that, right? And what it does is at that moment, you're going to have a white line with a line above and a white line below. Okay. And what that's going to do is it's basically adding, okay, a standard deviation. I got to see which one it just added to my thing, because of course it just, yeah, so it added this one. Okay. So you're going to see standard deviation channel close 2.0. Yes. 21. Right. So what you want to do at that point is you want to come in here. Okay. You're going to go into the settings, and first things first, what I would do just to make it easy is I would change this. Okay. To 0.5. All right. Because that's what you're going to start out on 0.5. Okay. That's all you're going to do is put 0.5 there. Then you're going to come down here and where it says upper line. All right. You're going to leave this, but what you're going to do is change the style to a dotted line. I believe I chose this one here. You can choose whichever one you want, but I would make it a dotted line. Width is fine. Color, right? Color, you want white. So you're going to do white. Okay. You come to the middle line. See how we switched from upper line to middle line. This one, the middle line on all of these entries, you're going to leave this just like this, except you're going to change it to white. Okay. Now the lower line, and you can kind of imagine this. You'll see it, right? Middle line over here, upper line, lower line, right? So lower line, you're going to match basically what you see here on the upper line. So we want to change this to a dotted line. Okay. And then because we're using the half deviations, which in all I cared about was just having a white dotted line. So then we're going to make this white. All right. Then you would go on and you would click OK. All right. You would click OK. And then you'd click apply, if you wanted to, right? Apply, whatever. The thing is now I just have a double entry here, so it's not a big deal. So let's say you did that, right? Now what I'm going to do, I would, obviously I'm going to exit that out. I'm going to hit apply and okay. You're not going to do that. But so now Les, you have, right? You have a half deviation plus that white middle line, correct?
Right. Plus, so when I first turned it on, when we pressed that file and turned it on, it gave me 3. It gave me the mean.
Yeah,
and then
it gave me 3 lines.
It gave me the mean. It gave me 3 lines exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what do you have now?
So now I turned one of the 0.5s, one of the 3 lines into the dotted. Now I go in standard deviation. I don't see where I would adjust the other line though.
Did it look like what I have?
Yeah, but it only
Where
gave
it says upper,
with it,
middle, and lower.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I need to go into there. Okay, my bad.
Right.
Upper,
so
middle, lower.
After you put in the 0.5, right here, you know what? I can clear this and then how do I clear my drawing set? I guess I just go in here and I just do this. Right. Okay. So let's just do it. We'll start it from scratch. So, right. This is what we'll just run through this again. So we'll make it on my chart. And it doesn't matter what time frame you're on. We can go to the daily, just to make it easy. All right. So I'm coming up here to the file. I'm clicking that, clicking add study. Right. And at this point, I guess it's going to do that. Let's go out to the weekly just so we have a little bit more. So, and again, these are really wide like this because what it's doing is it's giving us, remember, it's giving us the +2, right? So at this point, what I want to show you just for simplicity is you come in here, right? And now we have the moving average, obviously. You can get rid of that if you want, and just the standard deviation channel. So I'm going into settings, okay? I'm going to come in here and I'm going to make that 0.5. All right, and then I'm going to come down here to the upper line. I'm going to make that dotted and I'm going to make it white. Middle line, I want it smooth or solid and I make it white. Lower line, I'm copying the upper line, so dotted and I want it white. Come down here, okay, apply, okay, boom. So now what I have is a 0.5 deviation, right? That gives me half of a deviation. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come back up, click that file again, and I'm just going to add another study to the chart, right? See how it adds that same one? If you're going to do this quickly, you can actually click this multiple times and get all the studies that you need. But for simplicity and explanation, right, we're going to just stick with this. So again, I X'd out of that once right, that's where after I clicked on it, it showed this. So I'm clicking the X. You probably don't have to even. I'm going up to edit studies. And now I know I already did the 0.5. So I'm coming to where the new one is, right? It's going to say 2 again. That shit. And I just I just X out of it. So hold on. Fucking running too fast. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to come to where it says 2 and I'm going to go to settings, right? Don't X out of it. So now just for organizational, keep my mind somewhat on track here. I'm going to put 1, right? Because that's the next one. So 0.5. Now we're doing 1 deviation, which is going to give us +1 -1. So again, upper line, what's up?
And just to make things clear, when you just initially add the study, they're already in place. It's just they're not dotted, those first 0.5 deviations, correct?
Right. They're not the right color though, and it says 2 instead of the numbers. So what you're trying to add where it says deviations, you need to add a separate study for 0.5, for 1, for 1.5, for 2, for 2.5, for 3, for 3.5, and for 4, right? So you have to add 7 studies. All right. So you can literally, once you click that first time, you can click it 6 more times, right? Add 7 of these studies and then just come in here and change them all in order, right? You don't have to go through it each way that we are, but I want to show you guys kind of how it shows up on the screen so it doesn't get super confusing.
So each deviation to either side is one study. A 0.5 to either side is 1.
Right.
1 to either side is 1. Gotcha.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So when you put in, all you have to do is where you see deviations, you're just putting 0.5, you're putting 1, because it's an absolute number, right? So it's going to give you both sides. the positive and the negative. So once you put this in, let's say, you already have that 0.5, we did, right? Now we have a new study, we're making it 0.1. The upper line, right? Again, now that we're at a whole number, we want to leave this solid. Okay, so all we're changing is the color. So let's say we change it to yellow, right? So we're going to do yellow for the upper line. The middle line, we want to keep solid, but we're going to go in and we're going to make it white. Okay, because remember, the middle lines are always going to be white and they're always going to be solid. And that way they stack over each other and they don't look funny. Then the lower line, okay, again, we're going to come in here, we're going to make it yellow. Okay, so now we have our +1 -1 is going to be yellow. Does that make sense?
Just go through the color scheme again. Upper.
Yeah,
Yellow,
let me know if you're not caught up to it yet, because I'll yeah.
I'm on the page. So one.
Yeah,
for each.
upper line you want to change to yellow, right? So literally click on the color,
Yellow.
click on yellow.
Lower line yellow, and in the middle
Line you want white. Okay.
and yeah, and none
Lower
of these are
line.
Dotted. They're all straight, even.
They're all
straight.
right, because it's an even number, because we're not
Right.
dealing with the half, the halves. So one, right? So now you're good. You click OK, click apply, and you see how it moves, right? You can see on the screen now it shifts in. So now you can click OK, and you're good to go, right? So now you have the half deviation and the +1 -1 deviation. So now you're going to go up and you're going to add study to the chart again. Click on it again, right? Come in here to studies. You're going to find the one that says 2. It's normally going to show up on the bottom here. You're going to go over to settings. Are you with me?
Yep.
Okay, so you're going to highlight that and you're going to put 1.5. Okay, so now we're on a half deviation mark again. Okay, we're just 1.5. We're trying to fill in the next spot. So 1.5, and because we're on a half deviation, we're going to do upper line. We want dotted, and we want the color to be white. Okay, the middle line, we want always solid. We want always white. Okay, and the lower line, again, we want white and we want dotted.
All three are white.
All three are white, because all we're doing is copying what we did on the half deviation. This is just the 1.5.
And with that middle deviation, the middle line, it's just stacking up with the same middle line that we always have.
Exactly, and so that's why you want to keep it solid and you want to keep it white. Yep. So you click OK, come down here, click apply, click OK, and boom. See how you have that hat? Now you have the 1.5 deviation, which is a dotted line because it's a half deviation. You good? You got that? All right.
Apply in.
Right. Yep. So now add study to chart. You're clicking that add study to chart again, coming up here, clicking on that. Right now you're going to find the 2, which is actually what we want to put in, right? So at this point, we're not going to change the 2 because that is what we want. What we want to change here are the colors, right? So the upper line, what do we want to use for 2? Probably orange. All right. We want it solid, so that's good to go. The middle line, again, it's going to always be solid and it's always going to be white. Okay. The lower line, solid, because we're on a whole number, and we want that orange. Okay.
And you want them all. You want the outer lines orange this time.
Exactly. Yep. Middle line white, outer lines orange. All of them are going to be solid. When you click apply, all it's going to do at this point is change those. You see how that middle line stays white?
Yeah.
So it's literally just it's layering these over. Like if you ever edit a photo or a video or something type of thing, right? It's like it's literally just stacking these over one another. The key here is once you're done with all of this, okay, you've gone up to 4. You want to go into your studies and you want to save it as a set. Okay. You don't have to do it now, right? Because you still want to add the other ones, but you want to save that as a set. And when you save it as a set, name it, Standard Deviation Channel, best, whatever, doesn't matter exactly. And it'll always be here in the sets. And that way you can add it to any chart that you're doing. You can add it in Active Trader. You can add it on your flexible grid. You can keep it here just on charts, like what I'm doing, what we're working on right now. And it's just that, you know, it's just the way it is. So here, right? So now we know we have half, 1, 1.5, 2, right? So now we're going to go in, we're going to add study to chart. And you can see how it changed our colors again, right? Because what it's trying to do is add a new one over top. That's 2.
Right.
So we're going to go up here to study. We're going to find the new 2. Okay. We're going to hit settings. We're going to come up here and we're going to make that 2.5. All right. Then we're going to do, again, we're on a half deviation. So very simple, right? We're going to have dotted lines on the upper and lower. We're going to have dotted lines and we want them white. Okay. The middle line, we want to keep that solid as usual, and we're going to make it white. So the lower line, right? It's dotted and we want it white. We click OK, come down here, click apply, click OK. And now boom, we have the next half deviation. So now we have 1, 2. So we need 3, 3.5, and 4. All right, so let's fly through this because we got to start that class too.
It keeps adding it as a 2 again, eh? Initially.
Yeah, always, exactly. So, but it doesn't matter. You just know that's going to be the case. You go up there, you're going to find the lower, you know, one on the lower end of the list. Go to settings, right, and immediately, so you know that you have, right, you have all the way up to 2.5. So this one you want 3. Okay, this is going to be 3. Right.
In
so
your color.
Yeah, exactly. Upper line, right? You could do red, right? Let's just do red for 3. Okay, the middle line is going to be white. And again, the lower line is going to be red, right? All solid because we're on an even number. You click OK, apply. Okay, boom. Now we're getting a chart that looks like what mine is, right? So now we have 1, 2, and 3 with the half deviations in between. So now we just have 2 more studies to do, right? We're going to do 3.5 and 4. So let's do it and let's rock out. You click add study to chart, come up here, go to the bottom. It starts off as 2 as always. We're going to click on that. This is a half deviation. So we're going to type in 3.5, 3.5. And because it's a half deviation, again, all we're doing is we're making it dotted. On the upper line is dotted and white. The middle line is going to be solid and white. The lower line is going to be dotted and white. Right? You good with that?
Yeah, 1 second. 3.5 dotted. Yeah.
Boom. And what it looks like is this, right? So it's quick to do this. It's easier. Obviously, I've done this and fucking forgotten to save it and had to go back and do the whole thing again. And I've done it with other studies. So it's easy once you do it a bunch of times, but it's really just once you know that, hey, every time I add this when I click add to chart, like sometimes you don't notice the colors change, but it's there, right? So you go to your studies, you come down, you find that new one on the bottom. It's always going to say 2 deviations. And now what we're going to do is we're going to change this to 4. Right. So now we have 4. So our upper line is going to stay solid. And
wait a second. I messed something up here. Now I got a big line on the outer.
Well, that's because you didn't make it a dotted line. It's all good.
Yeah.
Just go back in and edit it and make it a dotted, you know. Basically, you have two solid lines on the outside.
No, they're dotted. They're showing dotted, but there we go. I pressed apply again and updated it, even though, okay, we're good. Keep going.
All right, so you're going to click the study again, right? You're going to click one last study. You're going to go into edit studies, right? The little beaker, little science beaker. You're going to come in, click that, lower end one, the lowest choice again, edit, go into the settings. You're there. You can type in 4. Okay, because so where deviations is, you're going to put 4. And for the upper line, all you're going to do is change that to pink. Right, let's use the pink in the top left corner. The middle line is going to be white. All of these are going to be solid, right? And then the lower line we'll change the color to pink. Okay. Click OK. Click apply and boom. Now, before you exit out this last time, now that you have all of them, right, all the way up through 4, what I would do is I would go into save as set, and then type it in. So I'm just going to put ST, right, capital DEV, capital CH, and then I'll just put recording, right? And then click save. Now what you have is you have it in the set. Okay. That's key, bro. Make sure you do that.
Save the set standard. Save as set standard dev set. Save. Okay. And now, now when I go into my save studies, I just go into the search bar, or okay, I go to sets, and it's right there.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. Can I, if you want to get this on screen, if I share my, I'll put my TOS on private quick, and then I will share my screen and then show you what I have.
Yep. So just so everybody can see, that's what it looks like now. Very far extended. Let's go on the 1 minute and see. I want to show you guys, right? The 1 minute. Well, it's hard to see here, but at the time, right? So in real time, what happened? What happened the other, on Friday is that this was actually approaching the higher time frame. What happens is as the time moves on and the day ends, this balances out. So this will move throughout the day, right? The lines will always stay straight, but what you want to see in real time is how you can kind of see how we track. If you go to the daily, and yeah, and definitely, dude, I want to see yours quick, right? If you go to the daily, right, you can see how we've tracked. And normally you stay within the first deviation, maybe the second, right? But just keep in mind that in real time, this shit gets moving, right? Especially when we start breaking expected moves. Normally you won't see the 4th. You won't see the 3rd even, right? But you can use this if you know we're getting up past the 1st, especially the 2nd deviation. The chances of us continuing up higher or for any length of time is just so slim that normally you can pretty much know that those are the tops of your ranges for the day. And that's why they're so effective. So yeah, let me stop sharing mine. And how do I stop sharing? Oh, stop share. There we go. All right, share yours, bro. And then we will
Oh, hey, can you hear me?
Yep, I can see it.
Oh, there you go.
And I
Yeah,
can see it. So
I was talking with myself muted. Sorry.
no, it's okay.
I have it set here. Yeah,
So
it looks good.
That's it, man. So now you can go in and you can open that setup in any chart, right? You just go to your sets and then boom, it's there to go. And I think from what I understand, I should be able to save this as a study and then share that study with a link. But for now, this is the easiest way to do it. There are a couple people that sell versions of this. There's nothing wrong with those either. But the fact that you can make this for free with, we did this in what, 20 minutes or maybe 30 minutes is not bad at all. So listen, let's cut this. Let's get to the class, and I'll put this recording out for everybody, before the morning. So
yeah, this was great. This was simpler than I thought it was. I didn't realize that when I first tried to figure it out on my own, I thought it was all going to be in the same study, like the same
yes.
Single one.
Yeah.
So that each one gets its own individual. Each deviation gets its own individual study.
Yep.
But
and you're just layering it over top of each other. But yeah, it's once you do it, it's like, oh, this makes sense. But
straightforward.
Yep. Trust me, I had to walk through someone showing, a couple of videos of kind of explaining how to do this to really get it figured out. So that was a few years ago, but yeah, all good, man. No, this is great. All right, cool. Let's cut this and we'll get the link out to everybody coming to the class. So
let's get rolling.
Awesome,
take care, everybody.
Yep.
Thanks for watching.
See you guys. Thanks.